accomplished AI researcher and entrepreneur whose work is at the forefront of leveraging cutting-edge technologies to solve real-world challenges. An alumni of IIT Delhi, Omkar expertise into spans graphic neural networks and generative AI, where he applies his deep technical knowledge to create sustainable, transformative solutions. So today, Omkar will guide us through an exciting masterclass titled Balancing Skepticism and Innovation, the intersection of entrepreneurship and AI. So I'll request Omkar to spread some light on some use cases where we can use generative AI and new age technologies to solve for some financial problems specifically, which he thinks of. Over to you, Omkar. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for that introduction. So let me just start sharing my screen, and let's go through it one by one. Just let me know if you can't see it. I'll again restart the presentation.
Yeah, this is
Can you see this?
yeah, visible.
Okay, so the title of it is Balancing Skepticism and Innovation, the intersection of entrepreneurship and AI. And specifically, this is coming up because, the current, AI development, it is less on actual technology. It is more on hype cycle that, a new technology is coming. It is going to be killer. You will see a huge amount of things happening. You will see jobs getting reduced. This is going to be as intelligent as humans, like a number of things that is coming. So as a founder or as an AI expert, how would you think about dividing them so that you can think about what is realistic, what is not realistic, what makes sense, and you should be able to divide it properly. So let me just walk you through our team. So Sanat is our CEO. I'm working at CTO. Srinivas is CPO, and there was one specific case that we thought was very interesting to what you guys are doing, and that was mortgage document processing. And specifically, this was some of the outsourced work that was coming from US to India, and what was happening is that there were huge documents up to 1,000 pages, and those pages were these documents were scattered in the sense that the agencies wanted, the clients wanted them to be indexed into smaller pieces so that all the loan application pages, they will be together. All the closing disclosures, they will be together, making sure that one page of one document is not moving to another page. And then, once you have done that, how can you extract that data properly? That is more of data extraction. So while we talk about AI, and again, there will be some general yarn that will be flowing in here, but you can put questions in the chat, and I can address it as I go. But specifically, when we talk about being skeptical, is when you have large amount of data going in there, and that large amount of data could be, so it could be enough to train small language models, or it could be sufficient to look into a large language model. What starts happening is that data quality always becomes an issue, and you need to start looking at data very closely. So this is my estimate, is any data verified by human expert, it is always 95% correct. In the sense that in one pass, if there are 20 documents or there are 20 instances through which you need to parse, an expert needs to parse and understand what is going on, that expert is going to make at least one mistake. And that actually reflects through one pass, you should be able to get 95% accuracy. So what we were able to do is, we were able to index these documents at 98% accuracy, and extraction of it, we were able to provide in 95% accuracy. But again, this is 2024. What I'm talking about is 2019. We used transformer neural network, but very early forms of transformer neural networks, such as BERT and T5 kind of models, and we were able to extract data at very, very high accuracy. So what that also means is that when we talk about artificial intelligence is very hard by nature, in the sense when you talk about coding, then left-hand side is when you talk about algorithmic correctness, where you have some kind of bug in some kind of conditional statement. It could be a bug in function call. It could be bug in recursive computation, or either your seed case would be different. So either it is bug in implementation, or it could be algorithmic correctness. And in 2 dimension, you are able to understand what that particular problem is, what kind of solutions that you could build, and then you can move it to the bottom left kind of position where you say that solution is correct. But when you talk about AI, then it starts becoming very hard very soon, in the sense that you have one dimension that more talks about what kind of model issues that you are looking at. Is it overfitting? It is underfitting? Or is it correct? Or you look at algorithm correctness, whether that particular non-optimal data, is the learning rate correct? Are there gradients correct? Or you start looking at what kind of implementation correctness we have done. And there is another dimension, that is data, that we generally overlook. Is the data correct? And in these four dimensions, when you start looking at, then getting a correct solution, it's generally harder. So when we talk about AI, it is not just put your data in and run an algorithm. It is much more than that, and the amount of iterations that are required to fix one small issue, they could result in 4 or 5 iterations to come to an actual solution that you are going to get that you are going to deploy. So what that means is that there is 1x time that is required to fix a particular problem in your classical programming paradigm. It could be 4x, if not 10x time that you need to fix in these AI specific algorithms. And that you would see in different issues that have happened in international scenario as well. So again, what is the current landscape of AI in entrepreneurship? And again, some of this news is very old, up to 1 year to 6 months, but it is still relevant in the sense. So you had Sam Altman, who was seeking up to $7 trillion to reshape business of chips and AI. He went to Middle East asking for money to build this huge AI startup. Then you have Google CEO, when you had so when Gemini was launched with image generation, then you were getting very unrealistic kind of images, and that is what they tried to fix. So that was another problem that they came in. And again, Google being one of the gods of this entire AI world, they were still not able to fix these issues at launch or even after subsequent iterations. You had video generator models which were coming in, and now they have started trickling in. But when OpenAI announced Sora, then it started becoming it came as a surprise, because you are able to give a prompt, then it generates images, and with those images it is able to generate subsequent images, so that you actually have videos. Some of it has started coming into production, but what it does is that it tries to build physics into it as well, so that world level physics is possible. Then you have small language models such as Mistral, and companies such as Mistral. They are launching the smaller models, and they are able to come to a level where you are getting accuracy as GPT-4 Cloudy, that kind of level. So these different things are happening in international AI landscape. If you look at Indian AI landscape, you had Servam AI, which backed around $41 million in funding. They trained a small model, which they spent around $1 million to train, which is able to understand different Indian contexts, Indian context text, and then it is able to talk to you in that particular language, which was pretty powerful. And again, there was one failure that happened is government asks for firms to take permissions to launch AI model. That was just before the election, and government went completely. They took drastic steps, and that came as a shock to Indian community. So we are part of organizations such as AI for India, where we are trying to talk to policymakers. We are trying to talk to different stakeholders, where we are trying to build a consensus among these people, and we are trying to build a different better AI models going ahead. But while all of this is happening, most of the AI